Have you ever asked yourself why women simply don't want a relationship with you, or at least the right kind of women, the ones that you really would want to be in a relationship with? Well, my name is David Mason. I'm a professional dating and relationship coach, and over the years I've helped men from 26 different countries get a better social life, find the right girlfriend, life partner, and wife. And today we're going to talk about 3 things that you have to change if you want to get a better social life, a better dating life, and find a meaningful long-term relationship with the right type of woman. First question: how are women supposed to find you attractive if you don't even find yourself attractive? How the hell are these amazing women that you'd like to be in a relationship with, or eventually one of them, right? How are they supposed to be blown away by your personality if you're not blown away by your personality? And now you might say, David, well, being blown away by my own personality sounds quite narcissistic. Yeah, there is a spectrum of self-doubt, crippling self-doubt on the one hand, and obscene narcissism on the other hand, right? You're probably far on the side of crippling self-doubt in the area of dating and relationships. You might protest and say, David, I'm quite successful in my career, or my business, I've done fairly well in these areas and I'm fairly confident in these areas. Great, but you're not confident in the area of dating and relationships. You might say, well, actually I am. I've had a few relationships in the past. Really? Do you now, at this point in time, have the ability to walk up to a woman in Whole Foods, a gym, a shopping mall, a bar, nightclub, anywhere, introduce yourself, strike up a conversation, get her interest, keep her interest, get a number, schedule a date, keep her interested at that point, and move things forward? If the answer is no, then you simply don't. And well, one part of the thing is obviously a skill set, right? Part of the reason you don't know what to do is because you don't know the how, right? But the other part is confidence. You simply lack confidence. You don't even perceive yourself to be a man who is worthy of attracting those kind of women. You carry self-doubt. You're not confident in the area of dating and relationships. And yes, part of that comes from developing a competence. One of the easiest ways to develop a confidence in a certain area, because confidence is context dependent, one of the easiest ways to do that is to simply become competent. You become confident by becoming competent, by developing a skill. But another way to develop confidence, other than managing your mental and emotional state, which I've spoken about at length in other videos, and it's something that I talk about in detail in my coaching program with my clients as well, is to understand what you bring to the table. And here's my question: aren't there things that you've accomplished in your life that 90% of men will never be able to accomplish? If you're a man with a successful career or business, then there are things that you have done with your life that 90 to 99% of men will never be able to do. Not because they can't, but simply because they're not willing to take the same amount of action that you have taken to shape yourself into the person that you have become. Now, does that mean you're perfect? No, I'm neither. We all have our flaws, for sure. But objectively, looking at where you are in your life right now, what you have accomplished, you should be a lot more confident. And yes, again, part of that is because you don't know what you're doing. But part of that is also because you're not giving yourself credit. You're not even giving yourself credit for the things you've accomplished. Now, there may be mindset problems. For example, I lived in Ireland for 7, 8 years, right? Really long time. And Irish people are absolutely amazing. Some of the warmest, fun, entertaining people. But one of the things that my Irish clients tell me all the time is that they are brought up in a way which is very different to American clients. They're brought up in a way where they're told to not get too big for their own heads. And like, being too confident is very much looked down upon in Ireland. And part of the reason is great, because if you're too confident, you stand out, you're different to everybody else. There's a very, very, very strong sense of community and belonging in Ireland, which is absolutely beautiful. Completely different to Americans, right? Much love to all my American clients. To most of the people who are watching this are probably in the US. But you guys are different. And now some of you might say, well, but I'm Irish. Okay, maybe your roots are Irish, so maybe a bit of that is in you. But you guys are a lot more boom, confident, out there and loud, at least on the outside. And it's very easy to make yourself seem that way. But unless you can actually produce the results in your life, in a certain area, There's a degree of confidence that's lacking. And the message that I want to offer you here today is to start viewing yourself as a man who's worthy of attracting the right type of woman. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world, right? As I said, I've had clients from 26 different countries around the world. I just picked the US and Ireland as a very handy example because I got a lot of personal experience with that. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you don't understand what you bring to the table and how valuable what you have to bring to the table is to the right kind of woman, you'll never be able to walk up to her, introduce yourself with the right kind of vocal tonality, the right kind of projection, eye contact, body language. Maybe you've heard that I never talk much about body language. Actually, there's a video where I mentioned it a little bit. But that's because, yes, there's certain things you definitely have to avoid when it comes to body language, which is taught in my coaching program in detail. But the biggest reason is body language is a natural result of you being in the right kind of mental and emotional state. You're going to do 90% of things right automatically if your mindset is on point. If you actually are truly confident in the area of dating and relationships. So start looking at the things you've already done that may separate you from the rest. And I know most of us aren't brought up in a way, again, to even me being from Germany, right? I'm not brought up in a way to think that I'm better than somebody else. My mom always told me, David, be kind. Don't think you're better than somebody else. Everybody's the same. Human beings are human beings. That's what she said. Menschen sind Menschen. Human beings are human beings, which is beautiful, right? So naturally enough, that's not something like, obviously they instilled a degree of confidence in me, but they didn't necessarily trickle down to the area of dating and relationships, partially probably because my father and my mother had a very unhappy marriage, amazing, super intelligent, loving and kind parents, but they didn't necessarily figure that area out. They both suffered a lot in that area. And so I never had a role model when it came to meeting women. So what I got from my mom, which was a beautiful value, is human beings are the same. And that's true. In terms of our self-worth, as men, we are all the same. I'm equally worthy in terms of deserving love as anybody else, in terms of my worth. Now, obviously we have to differentiate the spiritual concept, or quite practical concept, of worth to personality, and not just personality, because a lot of personality is inherent, right? A lot of those things you're born with, but rather the avatar, the video game character you've shaped yourself to be. And that is something that took a lot of effort. You put a lot of effort in to being where you are right now. Maybe that started in university with your degree, you've climbed up the corporate ladder, you decided to build your own business, maybe you own multiple businesses, whatever the case may be, right? You've put in a significant amount of effort to get where you're at, and yet you're not giving yourself nearly enough credit. Let me ask you this, just do this little experiment. How does it feel to know that you I teased into that earlier, but really let that sink in for a second. How does it feel to know that you are at least in the top 10% of men right now? Yeah, well, just look at the very objective metric, financials, right? In terms of your income, aren't you, objectively speaking, in the top 10% of men? Then there's other metrics. It's not just money, right? But do you not genuinely have a desire to treat women well? Because all the clients who come to me, I don't work with anybody who's not genuinely a warm and kind person. I know I can come across as super harsh in these videos, but then confuse my passion for harshness, right? Like, I need people who are kind and warm. Don't you genuinely have that? Isn't your problem that you're almost too nice? Not that you're not setting enough boundaries? Right? There's many things that make you attractive. Your health habits, maybe they're not perfect, right? But aren't you working on your health already? Doesn't mean you can't have a belly. It doesn't mean you have to be in perfect shape. But aren't you making a conscious effort in most areas of your life? You have your flaws and I have mine. Doesn't mean every area of your life is perfect. That's absolute and utter nonsense. I don't know a single person where that's the case. But aren't you making a deliberate effort on a weekly basis to improve yourself? Most men aren't. That immediately, that alone, this mindset of growth, wanting to make progress in significant areas in your life, that puts you in the top 20% already. And that means if you're in the top 10%, top 20%, of men, that literally means that 8 or 9 out of 10 men she's gonna meet are gonna be inferior to you in terms of a video character, avatar, not worth. Not their worth as a person, that's very important. You're not better in terms of worth, just in terms of the video character you've created yourself to be. And you're not even proud of that. A lot of people have a misguided, a confused understanding of the word pride. Pride doesn't mean, ooh, I'm better than somebody in a self-worth way and therefore I get to talk down to people. I genuinely make a strong effort every day to be super kind to staff members, in the gym, taxi drivers. Now, if you start conflict with me, we're gonna have a verbal argument, no problem, right? If you're disrespectful towards me, I'm not gonna tolerate that and I'm gonna set a boundary immediately, right? I'll be respectful, but I'll set a boundary immediately, right? You're not gonna fuck with me. But I'm super kind to, I say thank you so much, I say sorry a lot. Do I have my bad days? Everybody has their bad days, but I genuinely try to make an effort because I don't view people in terms of hierarchy. Really, really not. So you really have to make an effort. But so it doesn't mean that, oh, I get to now look down upon people, but it means, wow, I genuinely know that most men she's gonna meet haven't accomplished what I have accomplished. Most men she's gonna meet aren't gonna treat her as good as I'm gonna treat her. Most men that she's gonna meet aren't gonna be able to provide that brighter future as I'm gonna be able to provide because I have ambition in addition to current success. Because women want ambition more than current success. And that's why this whole money thing, yes, money helps, but you could be a 21-year-old broke student if you're ambitious, not just in your mind, in terms of mental masturbation, and you're thinking about, oh, I'm so ambitious, but you're just watching videos and you're masturbating yourself to sleep. No, you're actually doing something about it on a daily basis. You can be hugely successful because women want ambition. Why? Ambition is the best predictor of, well, past performance is the best predictor of future performance, but I would say the second best predictor of future performance is ambition. Women really prefer ambitious men over successful men. They value current success less than ambition, and these are things that you carry. So these are just a couple of ideas, a little bit of food for thought that hopefully points you in the right direction, that helps you to see the value in yourself. Okay? And now it should be a little bit easier for you to look in the mirror and say, oh, goddamn, not doing too bad after all. Yes, and that's why sometimes we need external feedback. Sometimes we need somebody on the outside snapping us back to reality, as Eminem would say. So, number one, confidence. Yes, again, you're never going to be able to get fully confident in the area of dating and relationships without knowing how. You need to how. Join the coaching program or at least apply for a free initial consultation call if you want to know the details of how. But regardless of that, start seeing the value in who you are as a man and things are going to go a lot better. Oh, got a call in 3 minutes, so got to hurry up with a client call with one of the one-on-one clients in 3 minutes. So the other 2 points are, one, opportunities. You need to actively create more opportunities for yourself. And that means going out to shopping malls, Whole Foods, the gym, actively approaching women in real life in a super respectful yet effective way. You gotta do that. You gotta assume responsibility for making things happen. You can't just wait to stumble upon your future wife just at the next house party or your brothers-in-law barbecue or something. If you rely exclusively on your social circle to provide you with opportunities to meet your future wife, you're in for a big disappointment, because if you don't have a pool, a variety of high-quality options to choose from, the probability that you're going to end up with a woman with whom you have a high degree of compatibility is very low. So actively assume responsibility for creating options for yourself. Number 3, you need to create a man-to-woman connection, because a part of the reason women don't want to have a relationship with you and they only see you as a friend is because you're not comfortable with intimacy. When you show up as a friend. And again, you should be super proud of the fact that you're a really kind and nice guy, and you should absolutely keep that up. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't be fake. Set boundaries. And if you want to learn in detail how to become truly confident in this area, how to develop a competence in it, how to create opportunities for yourself, be that on Tinder, Bumble, Match.com, or in real life, and how to create a man-to-woman connection so they actually see you as a partner and not just as a friend, then simply apply for a free initial consultation call, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you personally. I wish you all the best.